It's Monday, October 28th, 2019, and this is the Pro and the Con Show. My name is Michael James Ott, and I'm your host. I'm back on the show after about a week off, working on the renovation of my mother's house. And that's when I left the last show I did called Renovation. And this show I'm calling Renovation because, a couple things. One, be a bit prideful here. This is one section of my mother's house in the kitchen where we redid the cabinets and the flooring and everything in the kitchen. It's a small kitchen, but it came out great, and we're very excited about it. And she's quite happy to have the kitchen updated as we've done. And so any renovation, right? If you watch HGTV, the Flip or Flop or whatever, the house can have good bones, the good structure, but it needs an update. And, it occurred to me actually over the last week, I've mentioned that the structure, so there's a triangle, judiciary, legislature, and executive branch. And those three basically in our Constitution, they kind of oversee or watch each other, and it's a balance, right? That so-called balance of power. And I've mentioned in the past that we've had examples of, really bad people in those different things. And in fact, Mr. Trump being an example. Well, it also occurred to me that there are people who believe that Mr. Trump actually is a good example of being a president of the United States, and Mr. Obama, the president that preceded him, was the bad example. Okay, well, in any case, even if you believe that, that's fine. Then it still says that the structure is sound. And what we need to do is get better at filling that structure so we can avoid, whether you feel like Mr. Obama was a bad president or one of the previous ones was, or Mr. Trump, we can do better. I guarantee you we can do way better in filling these positions, both in the Congress, in the Senate, for the presidency and for the Supreme Court even, by doing things in a much, much, much better way. And so we don't need evolution. We don't need revolution. We need renovation. We need to take that structure that's sound and put more better people into the structure, basically the fascia on it. So what I want to just say about this is, again, it's likened to having a jury pool. So let's say 10 people. So every 2 years, 10 people are selected from all 50 states. It's 500 people. And, some very basic things like a minimum age, that kind of stuff. And based on that, they go through this process, just like the jury pool process. So, and it's all on a very controlled system, very secure online system that we all can access and give access to people, public libraries, and so on. And it's all secure and very standardized. So we get rid of all the influence of, big money and big politics. We get rid of all the attack ads. I know a lot of you like that. No attack ads anymore. They're gone. No influence of foreign governments. We just do this. Okay? And then there's a process where these people, just like in jury duty, they would answer certain questions as, standardized questions. And based on their input and maybe some surveys of people around them, we would look at them and say, okay, these are good candidates for the House of Representatives. These are good candidates for the Senate. And these were potentially good candidates for President of the United States, for example. And then, those numbers would boil up. And then we'd be looking at, voting for them. and then pre-selecting, and then that maybe go through another phase or another round of public speaking and more interviews and more surveys of people that know them and so on. And eventually we would elect these people to office, very similar to what we do today, only with the controls of this centralized, highly secure system. And then these people just serve, just like a jury duty, okay? You serve, and then you go home. So serve for 2 years, serve for 4 years, serve for 6 years, whatever. I mean, we tweak this. And so we need a renovation. We are in desperate need of a renovation because the two-party system is killing us. And it's all this us versus them mentality. So this is called the Pro and Con Show because look at the bias in the media. And right now, in today's news, it just announced that the Democrats in the House of Representatives are going to vote on Thursday, which I believe is Halloween, to formalize the impeachment inquiry process. So they've been doing some background investigations up to this point, and now they're going to go public with the information they've gathered so far, and also the public hearings, which are part of the formalized impeachment process. So that's what's happening. Interestingly enough, Huffington Post, which is one of the most left-leaning information sites that I look at, their headline is "The California Infernos." That surprises me, but that's what it is. And then in CNN, there's a discussion about the contrast between Obama and Trump, and there's a raid that was organized by U.S. military under Trump's direction, apparently, where a member of a terrorist group was killed. And of course, Mr. Trump is trumpeting that it's a much bigger deal than when Osama bin Laden was killed during the Obama administration, but also on the headlines, Democrats moving toward next phase of impeachment with a vote. And then on NPR, which is much more neutral, House will vote to formalize impeachment inquiry. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the House will vote this week on a resolution that will outline the next steps in her inquiry. So it's going to talk about what's going to happen, and also define the president's ability to interact with this inquiry. So it's the legal ramifications of it. Fox News, which is more right-leaning, okay, Pelosi says House will vote this week on formalizing impeachment, but then right below it, more questions emerge about Hunter Biden's business dealings, and history will judge Democrats harshly for impeachment, according to Ken Starr. Okay, opinion. Okay, history will judge. So somebody's prognosticating, well, in the future, someone's not going to like it. Again, please, who, what, where, when. All right, focus on the facts and leave the opinion to somebody else, including yourself. Okay, and then Breitbart, which is the most right-leaning thing that I look at here, so you can see their take on the news today is "Nervous Nancy breaks." Okay. So this is the kinds of things, the rhetoric, the biased reporting kind of stuff that is true, especially because they aren't really journalists. These people are just nobody certified them. They're just giving their opinions. They're gathering a little bit of information, and then they spew forth their opinions. And we take it as news because they Breitbart News, Fox News, CNN, okay, cable news network. but it's really not news. The vast majority of the content that's on these things is opinion. Okay? Breitbart opinion, Fox opinion, Cable Opinion Network, Huffington Post opinions. All right, so for the Pro and Con show for Monday, October 28th, 2019, again, I'm Michael James Ott. Hopefully another show tomorrow. Hopefully some other topic other than the impeachment, but this looks like it's going to be the big topic here for a few days. So until the next show, I hope and ask all of you, please, please, please be open to at least understanding the opposing views out there, all right? And focus on the who, the what, the where, and the when. All right, bye for now.